Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 487th Rome Total War Brother game that I've put onto YouTube. This is a really close battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks, who has bought his faction of choice, which is of course the Greek cities, and he has got 14 Spartans and 5 of the cheap short-range archers. I say that's his faction of choice, and he's got very good with them. Our next teammate is our newest Brotherhood member Man 2, and he's got a Germania faction. Now he's got 10 chosen axemen, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, 10 chosen axemen, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his chosen axemen there. As you can see, he's got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Now remember, these guys are effective against armour and can cut wide swathes through heavily armoured troops like Roman urban cohorts. And don't underestimate these guys, they can be battle winning troops. And as I say, he's got 10 of them there. Now he's got his 4 archers. He's just got gold shield, gold attack on his archers, and he's got his 6 Gothic cavalry. Now he usually brings serious cavalry there, so I've got the upgrades on his cavalry. As you can see, he's got fully upgraded Gothic cavalry, 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And this cavalry is very underestimated cavalry. You have a look at the specifications, and you'll see this is really good cavalry. And when they're fully upgraded like that, they are pretty good. But as you can see there, no berserkers and no knight raiders in that particular army. So it'll be interesting to see how well this Germanic army does during the course of the battle. As I say, berserkers, probably the most powerful unit on Rome Total War, and he hasn't incorporated it into his army, so he doesn't like using berserkers. So it'll be interesting to see how well this Germanic army does during the course of the battle without berserkers or without knight raiders. They're bringing their big fear factor that they do bring. Okay, our next teammate is our second newest member to the Brotherhood, Viriato, and he has got 12 infantry, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. 12 infantry, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. I think that's a pretty good balanced army there. Let's have a look at the upgrades on his cavalry. And he's got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack for his cavalry there. So yeah, as I say, that's a pretty good balanced army there. Be interesting to see how well he does with it. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very old Roman army of 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team, a lot of diversity here. We've got Greek cities, we've got Germania, we've got Rome, and we've got Rome there. But you wait to see the other team. It's got the potential to be a great battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a little chat about the Germania faction. Now, as a lot of you will know, Germania, in coordination with its allies, can be battle-winning troops. Okay, normally, say if you've got Roman allies, your Roman ally will go in first to the enemy, take the pillars, make the first contact with the enemy. Then your Germania troops come through your Roman allies into your enemy Roman armies there and end up routing them. So in coordination with allies, as I say, Germania can be battle-winning troops, especially when they've got berserkers and knight raiders with them, bringing the big fear factor that they bring, destabilizing and lowering the morale of enemy troops. Okay, but on the other hand, if you actually use this Germanic faction in the wrong way and they start suffering casualties, the whole of Germanic faction will rout en masse. So it's a very strange faction. In one degree, like it's kind of extremely fragile, but in another degree it's kind of like battle-winning troops. So it's a very unusual faction, and it'll be interesting to see how well this army does during the course of the battle. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Mad King. The Mad King has got 15 infantry, 4 cavalry, and unusually has got the armoured cavalry general. Okay, can you see here that he's got Town Watch that he's incorporated into his pilot shield units? And remember, this Town Watch hasn't got very good morale, but if they stand their ground, they'll soak up pilers as good as any other expensive unit. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry there. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good army build there. And of course, they say he's unusually got the old school armoured cavalry general unit here. And I've counted the upgrades on there, and that is a fully upgraded armoured cavalry general. Okay, so it's nice to see a bit of old school. Let's say, I think Mad King's maybe playing for about 3 years or so. So it's nice to see him actually bringing the old school armoured cavalry general there. Probably see Lando using it so well, he wanted to have a go there. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman. Now, Barclayman's got 16 Sacred Band spearmen and 4 cavalry. Okay, quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. Okay, he's got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so I think that's quite a reasonably good Carthage army there with all those spearmen and 4 quite well upgraded cavalry. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Lando. Now Lando has got 18 infantry and 2 cavalry. Okay, 18 infantry and 2 cavalry. Now those of you that like statistics, 18 units of 82 men comes to 1,476 urban cohorts. Okay, now each one of those urban cohorts can throw 3 pilers, which equates to 4,428 pilers. So 4,428 pilers they can throw before they even get into hand-to-hand combat. So just say if 1,000 of those are kill throws, okay, they could kill maybe at least 1,000 of our troops before they even get into hand-to-hand combat. That's the firepower that 18 urban cohorts have got. But will 18 urban cohorts make up for just 2 cavalry? I guess we'll just have to see. As we know, Lando is an extremely aggressive attacking player, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Their 4th teammate is Brotherhood member Crypto. Now Crypto has got 12 pikes, and he's got 2 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, 12 pikes, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. Let's say unusual for him to bring the Seleucide faction there. Let's have a look at the upgrades on his cavalry. And he has got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so those upgrades give them, I think, a massive 28 defense. So make no mistake, they are going to be difficult to kill, the 28 defense there. So I think that's a pretty good balanced Seleucid army there. Once again, this team has got diversity in it. You can see that it's got a Rome, Carthage, Rome and Seleucid. This should be a great battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, as I say, if you notice here, you got Mad King's Roman armoured cavalry general there. Now, probably what he's thinking, he's probably bought that look, because he's probably thinking he's going to go over and activate the Germanic berserkers there. Remember, if an enemy unit gets close to berserkers, it automatically activates them, and then the Germanic general loses all control of them. So, obviously, I think he was probably thinking about doing that with that fast-moving general unit, but of course, Man 2 has got no berserkers. So, there's nothing for him to activate there with his fast-moving armoured cavalry general. Okay, at this stage of the battle here, you can see Mad King has brought his armoured cavalry general right over from the other flank to this flank here. He looks to me like he's going to try to harass and harangue and disrupt the enemy troops here. Maybe even with that harassing and haranguing, making the enemy troops, generals, like, you know, a little bit angry. Maybe they might do things that they wouldn't normally do, make mistakes. But as you can see here, he's using this armoured cavalry general here like in a menacing way here. Like, where's he going to strike? Is he going to go for archers? You can see here also that, as we know, Lando, very aggressive attacking player here, has moved forward in front of his main teammates there. As I say, very aggressive and attacking player, as we know Lando is. Okay, so you can see Mad King here, as we say. Now, is he going to go for those Germanic archers there? What do you think? Looks to me that's where he may hit. But maybe the enemy Julii cavalry there may well counter that attack there. Let's say looking to go for the archers, seeing all that cavalry come in, and then decided to pull that fast-moving armoured cavalry general back. As I say, this is great tactics here with this armoured cavalry general unit. Let's say I think he's seen Lando use this a lot and decided to bring it himself and see how well he can use that particular unit. As I say, using it very well there, like causing the Greek city's army to move towards him, and then he charges in to that Germanic archer unit there on the end. Nice hit there by him. There's no enemy cavalry around there, so he may well charge back in again with that unit. Pull him back. And then back in again, charge into that Germanic archer unit, and bang, as he smashes in there. Let's say, nice to see this unit used like this by modern players. And maybe a few more people might try using this armoured cavalry general after seeing a great display here by Mad King. See how he's targeting the archers there, causing disruption, as I say, harassing and haranguing, as we've seen Lando do with his armoured cavalry general a lot in the past there. Okay, so he's now going to pull away as he's being chased, obviously, by that heavy Germanic cavalry. But look at the casualties he's caused there. Okay, so that one cavalry unit, that's an 82-man unit that reduced to 60. And he also hit that as well. Remember, that's an 82-man unit reduced to 56. So just being hit from that armoured cavalry general caused big casualties to those archer units there. You may well even go for that archer unit there with that cavalry unit. We just have to see. But it's nice to see modern players using the old tactics of the armoured cavalry general there. Okay, so as I say, you can see Lando here has moved forward a lot further than his teammates, once again being aggressive and attacking there with his 18 urban cohorts. Because he's got that many infantry, that may well embolden him even more to be even more aggressive with his army. But if you notice here, you know Steve Longshanks is very aggressive with his Greek cities. As I say, in these situations, Steve doesn't need 2 invites to attack, and you can see moving straight towards him there. Okay, so that's the target there. I would think Steve may well crash into them there, pull out to their flank and then charge into the side. Viriato may well attack the forward part of the enemy Scipii battle formation there. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen here. As I say, in this type of situation, as we know, Steve very aggressive with his Greek cities, moving straight forward there to engage the enemy Scipii infantry. That's kind of like, almost, if you look in comparison with his team, he's kind of stuck his neck out a bit far there, if you see what I mean. And Steve would be quite happy to go and cut the head off there if he could. Okay, as I say, moving forward there aggressively with the Greek cities. You can see Lando has now realigned his battle formation there to face the Greek cities. But as I say, you can see Viriato there moving in with his Julii infantry towards the enemy Scipii troops. Alright, let's just pause again for a second. So you can see here Steve really aggressively making inroads into the Scipii troops. As I say, you can see Viriato moving his troops there. See, I'm moving my SPQR infantry looking to come around the flank of Lando there to smash into the flank there. But you can see the Seleucid general there running his pikes over it. He may well crash into the flank of Steve and that enemy Brutii troops as well. Okay. So as I say, Steve really being aggressive here, moving in towards the enemy Scipii infantry there. And you see we got a lot of archer fire going down onto those enemy Scipii troops as well. A lot of fire arrows as well. Remember, lowering the morale as well as causing casualties there as Steve's moving in. As I say, Viriato moving forward with his Julii infantry there. So at the moment, you can see that Lando's forward units are taking a double hit there from Julii and Greek city units there as well. But he's got his Carthage ally there to back him up with those Sacred Band spearmen. Let's say I think there's 16 Sacred Band spearmen there as well to back up those 18 urban cohorts. Okay, you can see I'm taking my SPQR infantry around the flank of Lando here. So if you notice here, there's our Julii ally, our Greek city ally, and my army there attacking these 2 enemy armies. Okay, now those Seleucid pikemen there could well come into the flank of Steve there, as we've seen the way they're moving. Plus, you've got the Brutii infantry coming in as well. Let's say Steve aggressively attacking Carthage and Scipii there, but they'll say those Seleucid pikemen could come in. Now, the Brutii enemy troops, are they going to crash into the flank of Steve as well? Or is that Brutii general going to take his army in behind his team? As I say, my SPQR army is attacking from the flanks. I've got my cavalry locked and loaded. We've got Viriato's cavalry coming round as well. So we may well be looking to really attack this flank of the enemy there. We got the Germanic cavalry ready to charge in as well, and all those chosen axemen ready to be deployed on the battlefield when Mantu feels he needs to do that. Okay, so there's a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. You can see that Lando's put a few of his units into Testudo there, which is a good defense formation there. You can see this Testudo forming. There you go. As I'm attacking forward, you can see I'm running my forward units forward into those units. Right, you can see Viriato doing a cavalry charge there with his Julii cavalry, and bang, it smashes in there. Okay, just to say, with all these pikes and spear units here, it's caused a little bit of lag, as you can see, as it often does on Rome Total War with so many pike and spear units. But I hope that doesn't spoil your enjoyment too much, and as more units are killed, you'll find the game will definitely speed up. Okay, we've got our Germanic allies cavalry here. Remember, that's fully upgraded Gothic cavalry here. Okay, and they are ready to charge in when Mantu feels that's right. He's brought his axemen over here as well. He's effective against armour axemen as well. Now, whatever happens there, he knows that he keep his axemen away from the pikes of Seleucid, because obviously pikes and spears will kill barbarian troops quickly, as Carthage and Seleucid would. Okay, now you can see that Crypto's got some of his Seleucid units here attacking Steve's Greek cities and Viriato's units there. He's got his cavalry locked and loaded, and his Carthage cavalry out there as well, ready to charge in when they're ready. He may well move the bulk of his pikes, so either into the flank of the Greek cities, or he may well take them around the rear to try and counter those effective against armoured Germanic axemen there. Okay, we just have to see how he's going to move with those pike units there. Okay, but you can see Steve, as I say, really pushing in on the enemy Scipii and Carthage Sacred Band Spearmen there. He's really pushing in with them there. As I say, I've got my SPQI army moving into the flank of those Scipii troops and those Carthage Sacred Band troops there. And as I say, Man 2 has got his cavalry locked and loaded, just ready to pull the trigger to charge in. But you can see the enemy Brutii army moving over towards the Germanic army here. And I can see a lot of those Germanic chosen axemen moving over to this flank as well. Okay. So as I say, there's a lot going on in this battle all over the place. Trying to catch everything for you is kind of a bit difficult there. But as I say, you can see the Brutii infantry moved over to this flank now. Okay, and you can see a couple of Germanic axemen were going to be thrown in there. But can you see that one Germanic unit there got hit by pilers and is routed there? Okay, so as I say, the Germanic army can be tough in some ways, but incredibly fragile in others. If they start suffering big casualties, they can rout en masse. Okay, so pause again for a second here. So you can see Steve's disengaged his Greek cities from Carthage and those Scipii troops. He's pulled back. So you can see that the Carthage general is still moving his units forward towards our Julii ally. You can see the Seleucid pikemen, some units there maybe moving in. And you can see some enemy Scipii infantry. The bulk of the Seleucid pikes have been taken over with the Brutii infantry there, maybe to neutralise any Germanic axeman attack there. Okay. So as I say, there's a lot going on here. We've got a lot of our archers here shooting into the enemy troops as well, all the time. Let's say you've got Lando's Scipii troops here backing up his Seleucid ally there to charge into maybe our flank. But over here on our left flank here, you can see that I've got my SPQR troops moving towards the enemy Seleucid troops there, ready to throw in a lot of pilers into them. Plus I'm facing the enemy Brutii infantry as well. And you've got all that cavalry, the Brutii cavalry and that well upgraded Seleucid cavalry ready to charge in. Viriato's got his cavalry there ready to counter any cavalry attack. But meanwhile over here on our right flank you can see Lando has brought round some of his Scipii units, and a lot of his Scipii cavalry are killing a lot of our archers there. But as you can see here, a nice little move there by the enemy team, bringing those Scipii infantry round our flank. Okay, you can see the Carthage Sacred Band units pushing forward. But meanwhile over here you can see the Germanic axemen there attacking that one Brutii cavalry unit there as they go in with their effective against armour axes. Cause a lot of casualties to that unit there. And you can see the Germanic general there bringing his cavalry and chosen axemen forward. But meanwhile over here on this part of the battlefield, as I say, there's lots going on, different parts of the battlefield at once. You can see some Scipii cavalry charged in there as well. You can see Steve now is re-engaging with the Carthage Sacred Band troops there. You can see him moving his Greek cities forward there. And as I say, you've got a lot of enemy Scipii troops here moving in with Seleucid allies here onto the flank of Viriato. You can see Viriato bringing some of his Julii units over to try and counter that flank attack. But there's a big lump of Carthage Sacred Band spearmen moving forward there, once again backed up by enemy Scipii infantry. Let's say you've got basically the whole of the enemy Brutii army there facing us as well, backed up with those Seleucid pikemen. You can see our Germanic ally there charging in with cavalry, and he's got his effective against armour axemen. And look at that Seleucid cavalry with 8 upgrades on each, ready to charge in. Make no mistake, those Seleucid cavalry are locked and loaded and just ready for the trigger to be pulled. So they say there's a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. Okay, you can see the Brutii cavalry charged into those Germanic troops there. My guess is that Mad King probably thought that the shock of that cavalry attack hitting those Germanic troops may well have routed them there. But you've got more Germanic axemen there being bought. I see the Germanic general there is an axeman as well. And you can see I'm pushing my SPQR troops forward into those enemy Brutii troops there. But as I say here, you can see a lot of enemy Scipii troops are pushing in into Viriato's Julii troops there. You've got the Carthage Sacred Band moving forward there. Okay, now with my cavalry I've spotted something that I'm hoping is going to be a good target here. I've got my cavalry there, and what I'm looking to do is to smash into the flank of engaged enemy infantry there. So you can see those Carthage Sacred Band pikemen there, spearmen there, engaging our allies. Now what I'm thinking, if I could smash into the flank of those spearmen there, we could rout a heck of a lot of them there. Okay, so that's my target for my cavalry, is to smash into the flank of those engaged Carthage Sacred Band troops. Okay, now here you can see my SPQR infantry are fighting the enemy Brutii troops there, and you can see that a lot of Brutii infantry and those Seleucid pikemen there moving towards our Germanic ally there. Plus, as I say, you got all those Seleucid cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in when they are ready. Okay, but in the meantime here with my cavalry, I'm looking to try and smash into the flank of those engaged Carthage Sacred Band spearmen there. Okay, so I've got 6 fully intact cavalry units here, 6 cavalry charge bonuses here, and what I'm hoping to do here is to smash in to those Carthage Sacred Band units and try and rout them in combination with my allies there. And there goes my cavalry, and bang, as I smash in to the flank of those Carthage Sacred Band troops. I'm heading right for the far Carthage Sacred Band unit there to smash through the rest of the units there. Okay, but with my cavalry being away, look, the enemy have taken advantage and have charged their cavalry and infantry into my SPQR infantry units that I'd left there to try and block them, and a lot of my infantry has now been routed. I'd also charged a lot of my infantry into those Sacred Band spear units at the same time. As you can see, I'm taking my cavalry on through to attack some enemy infantry there as well. Right, you can see all that Brutii cavalry and Seleucid cavalry charging into us as well. Let's pause the game for a second. Okay, so you've got the Seleucid pikemen there, you've got all that Brutii cavalry, all that Seleucid cavalry there charging straight in to our engaged troops. I'm pulling my SPQR cavalry out of the fray there to attack these enemy Brutii and Scipii troops there as well. Let's say Steve's moving forward with his Greek city units, and also you've got these Sacred Band cavalry units out here to our rear that could easily smash into the rear of our engaged troops as well here. So things maybe not looking that good for our team at this time there. Let's say those Seleucid cavalry with their 8 upgrades there charging in as well into the flank of our engaged troops there could cause us major problems there. So say there's a general overview of the battle as it stands at the moment. Okay, that's bad news for us. Our Germanic general looks like he's just been taken out there. As you can see, the Germanic cavalry charging in to the enemy cavalry there. Remember, those Gothic cavalry are fully upgraded cavalry. They say my SPQR cavalry was chased by that Seleucid cavalry there as I'm trying to target isolated enemy infantry units there with what's left of my cavalry there, trying to take them out. But if you notice, the Seleucid cavalry there are chasing down my SPQR cavalry, trying to take them out. As I say, Steve here moving his Greek cities towards the enemy Brutii and Seleucid pikemen there. As I say, I think Steve's going to get some good kills in this game. His Spartans have been doing extremely well, routing a lot of enemy units there. I can see the enemy Brutii general now is pulling back his Brutii troops away from the Greek cities, and I notice a lot of the Seleucid pikemen are being pulled back as well.
Be praised. The enemy general is dead. His men.
As I say, you can see that Man 2 has kind of split up his chosen axemen. I can see 2 groups of them that he's moving around the battlefield very tactically here. But he wants to get them away from any spear or pike units there. As I say, they will be killed quite quickly by them. You can see this Seleucid cavalry charging into Viriato's infantry. But Viriato's got a lot of infantry there, and they've managed to rout a heck of a lot of those Seleucid cavalry there. So well done to Viriato there. As I say, with his Germanic ally coming in as well. Man 2 charging in with those effective against armour axemen there. Between them, they've managed to rout a lot of those Seleucid cavalry. As I say, there's lots going on all over the battlefield at once here. Okay, so you can see that Steve here is moving forward with some of my SPQR troops in towards those Seleucid pikemen and those Brutii troops. As I say, you've got Man 2's got a lot of his chosen axemen out there ready to move in, but you can see there's a lot of Brutii infantry left and a lot of Seleucid pikemen left there. Okay. So at this stage of the battle then, as I say in other battle videos, if you were a betting person, which way do you think this battle is going to go? Just to say, this battle is going to be very close. And it'll be interesting to see which way it goes here. Remember that Lando had 18 infantry units at the beginning of this battle, and I think from what I can see there's only 1 of his units left now. I think the other lot of his both his cavalry and infantry have been taken out. Right, you can see the Seleucid general here moving his pikes forward towards those Greek city units. At the rear of the battle, you'll see some Carthage Sacred Band cavalry taking on some chosen axemen. You can see that as well. But as I say, here in the main part of the battle here, you can see that the Seleucid generals brought his pikemen forward here to engage the Greek city units. Very aggressive here. Crypto's using his pikemen there very aggressively towards the Greek cities here. You can see I'm moving in some SPQR infantry units here to attack the flank of those Seleucid pikemen there. Okay, so there's those Seleucid pikemen moving in towards Steve's infantry. We got Viriato's infantry hitting the flank and rear of those Seleucid pikemen. I'm moving some of my units in to attack as well. Okay, so as I say, it looks like we're attacking those Seleucid units as it stands at the moment. Those chosen axemen there have just seen off those Carthage Sacred Band cavalry at the rear of the battle, but there's a lot of enemy Brutii troops here ready to move in as well. Okay, so as I say, at this stage of the battle, which way do you think it's going to go? As I say, it's going to be a very close battle here, right? You can see the Seleucid pikemen moving in on the Greek cities, but we've got our Julioid ally coming behind those Seleucid pikemen. I'm throwing in what's left of my infantry to attack the rear of those Seleucid pikemen as well. In fact, you can see the Seleucid pikemen are being attacked on 3 sides there. In fact, 4 sides, and there's another Greek city units moving as well. So those Seleucid pikemen, not very good morale. If their general gets killed, then I think those Seleucid pikemen will rout en masse. Okay, I can see the Seleucid cavalry coming in there. Not many of them left there, but they're going to smash into the rear of those troops and bang as they smash in there. Remember those Seleucid cavalry got 8 upgrades on, gives them a 28 defense, and they've just charged straight into the rear of our engaged troops there. But you can see a lot of those Seleucid pike units are starting to rout. As I say, if we manage to kill that Seleucid general, then I think that will just guarantee that all those Seleucid pikemen will now rout. We've got our Germania ally throwing in his effective against armour axemen as well. Okay, I think that's a Seleucid general just been taken out, and as we thought, look, all the Seleucid pike units now have been routed. See how they're being attacked from all sides there? But you can still see a lot of enemy Brutii infantry left here moving in, attacking us from all different angles there. Okay, and plus we've got those Carthage Sacred Band units coming in behind us as well. Okay, let's just pause again for a second here. So you can see Steve and some of my units and some of our Julioid allies moving forward towards the Brutii, but you've got Carthage Sacred Band coming in behind us, plus we've got Brutii troops hitting us from the flank, plus we've got Brutii troops hitting us from the front here. So not a very good position here. We've got our Germanic ally here with his effective against armour axemen, could well charge into the rear and flank of those Brutii troops as well. Okay, but everything you're seeing here, that's about all that's left on the battlefield now, what you're seeing there. Everything else is dead, and bearing in mind the large size of the armies that we had here, as I say, Orlando had 18 infantry and 2 cavalry, and all of his Scipioid troops have now been routed or killed. So as I say here, you can see our troops moving forward into those Brutii infantry, and if you notice here, Mad King's bringing his infantry over there to engage the flank of our attacking troops. You can see some effective against armour Germanic axemen there being used as well. As I say, Steve's doing extremely well there with his Greek cities, as he has been all the way through the battle, and I would think that he's going to get some really good kills from that. As I say, you can see the Germanic general there bringing in his axemen, attacking those Roman troops there. As I say, I think he's got an Eagle unit there as well, a legionary unit there. To give morale to his troops there, but you can see those effective against armour axemen really getting into those Brutii troops. Steve's moving his Greek city units forward as well. You can see there's a Carthage Sacred Band unit was going to smash into the rear of those Greek city units and decided to change his mind. As I say here, Steve slowly moving forward with his Greek city units there, and with our Germanic ally as well. If you notice, most of my army has been taken out as well. Can you see any of my SPQ or infantry or cavalry left? I think I might just have my general unit left, but the rest of my army has been taken out. Okay, so this was a real battle of attrition here. As I say, all my troops except my general unit have been taken out. And as I say, I think all of Lando's troops have been taken out as well. And I think it's just for the enemy here, I think it's just a couple of Brutii units left that we are now pushing in on, and a Carthage Sacred Band cavalry unit there that may well be taken out. Okay, so it looks like our team has managed to go on and win this battle. But I just wanted to show you the intensity of this battle just with the piles of dead. If you look from one flank here, going through the centre of the battle here, and you can see how the body count starts to increase as we go through the centre area of the battle here. You can see there all the dead, all the mixed factions dead there on top of each other. And as I say, you can see how intense this battle was here in quite a small area, really. Just in that really area there. There's a few other parts of the battlefield here where you can see dead as well, but really it's the centre area, I think, that bore the most of the fighting there, as you can tell by the amount of dead that's there. So I say, I think our team has managed to go on to win the battle here. I think there's just one enemy Brutii unit left now, maybe two Brutii units left. They've got their general unit there as well, which could well help with their morale there. But let's say we just managed to go on to win the battle there. And if you notice how many men we've got left in our units, extremely battle depleted. As I say, this was really a battle of attrition here. And as I say, you can just tell by how many troops that are left that we've got left there. I've just got one unit left, my general unit, with about 6 men left in, 7 men maybe. And our Germanic ally, he's suffered a lot of casualties as well. But as I say, our team seems to have gone on to win there. Okay, so first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. And as you can see, as we thought it would be, it is a close victory. So I say really well played to everybody in the game there. Just like to draw your attention to the highest kills, and as we thought, Steve Longshanks there with his Greek city units, 1,899 kills for Steve, so really well done to him. Got some good kills there. As I say, that is his faction of choice Greek cities, and he's got very good with them. So let's say, once again, very good, very well played to everybody in the game. Well done to Brotherhood member Mad King there, got some good kills with his Brutii army. Well done to Brotherhood member Barclay Man there, got some good kills with his Carthage army. Well done to Lando, maybe didn't get the kills that he wanted to with that massive infantry army. And well done to Crypto there, he probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to with his Seleucide army there, but really well played, guys. And just like I say, really well played to one of our newer members, Viriato there, got some really good kills, 1,596. Well done to him. And well done to our newest member, Man 2 there. Really well done with that Germanic army with no berserkers or night raiders, so he got some really good kills. And as I say, well done to Steve getting the highest kills there. So I hope you enjoyed this battle. I didn't get the kills that I wanted to with my SBQR army, but I hope you enjoyed this battle. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.